you may be familiar with who I am, but I've been casting RSC for quite a while now. But if you don't know, then you can follow me on my socials at BXKiki on Twitter. And I am here with the Centermeister General as producer. He's been doing such a good job in the background, doing his work. And to my left, you may see quite a familiar face and one hell of a beautiful face at that. That is Mad Matt. Joining me for the finals. How are you doing, my friends?
It has been a while. Yeah, it just feels good to be back, and what an occasion to be back for it as well. I mean, the Elite Playoffs, it's the absolute highlight of the season, maybe right after draft day, but there is no better game day, to be honest, for RSC. This is the day we look forward to most in RSC, and I can't wait to see what we have in store for everyone today, especially this set of players. I can't wait.
I mean, these guys are really the top echelon of Rocket League in Europe right now. These guys really pushing the boundaries of how RSC needs to be played. The Conealed and Inferno have been the top two teams in Elite throughout the whole season. Yes, the whole season. The Concealed have been holding it right up until the last week, in which Inferno was able to clinch it away from them. So maybe a little bit of a grudge match. However, it does all come down to this. This is the grand finals after all. Whoever wins this has not only the bragging rights, but they need to be known as the best players in RSC. So it's a lot to play for. However, Matt, the Concealed right now, they look just so good. Maybe too good for the Inferno to overcome.
Yeah, I mean, you would say so, right? Because they have that upper bracket run at the moment. It looks very comfortable for the Concealed, but we have to look at Inferno. I mean, when you drop down to the lower bracket, that's a hit on your confidence, to be honest, going out first round. And then you have to recover. And the thing is, that's the trickiest part. If you go lower bracket, you have to recover. But if you manage to recover and you start gaining momentum, you have a lot of games in the lower bracket that take you to the final. So Inferno must be warm now. They have got a ton of games under their belt this playoff season right now, and the Concealed have only got 2 series. So I would argue that there could be more momentum for Inferno at the moment. Although, like you said, the Concealed do look very comfortable. They have not needed that lower bracket run to be able to make finals.
Yeah, and so it's a little bit chaotic, you know. Concealed maybe a little bit cold, had a little bit of a breaker because Inferno though coming off hot off a win against Riz Legion 3-1. So a lot to play for right here, guys. We know the way that this cookie crumbles. We know these players. It's going to be Destiny Detroit and Ultras versus. Why am I losing my mind? Why can't I remember the Concealed side all of a sudden? I've actually
Jaffa, Gamble, Renshiro, and Ollie. Ollie actually played for us over at Wave Dash. I as a GM never really knew what happened to Ollie because at some point he was just gone, and apparently now he's playing finals for Elite. So I'm very interested to see what my ex-player is doing today, and I'm really interested to see if he'll actually take it all as well. And I do hope he does, because that is a little bit of Wave Dash in there taking the title.
Yeah, exactly. You want to have a little bit of credit where credit is due. But guys, here in chat, if you want to, if you can, please do share this stream we are about to enter the Elite Grand Finals, and so this is top Rocket League. So share it with your friends, your family, your neighbors, your dog, your cat. If there's any account that you can get hold of, get involved in here, and obviously every follow, and obviously, you know, if you can drop a cheeky subscribe, then please do so, because you know this is a super fast growing league, the top EU Rocket League Open Circuit, in my opinion. And look at what we've done, and look at the work that is going on in the background. But the players are, you know, slowly readying up now. This is the do or die. And guys, just to let you know, this is a best of 7. So this is going to go along a little bit longer than, you know, it has the potential to go on a little bit longer. We haven't seen a best of 5 yet this evening. And so will it be a 4-0 or will it be a game 7? Matt, what is your prediction before we head into the game?
Well, it has been a while, and obviously I've been known as the prediction king in this league. I don't know. The Concealed, like I said, the Concealed have had that really good upper bracket run, but at the same time, you know, Inferno have got to have some kind of momentum, and with players such as Destiny on their team, they do have a reputation to uphold here. So, I don't know. I feel like we'll go to Game 5 here. I do not know in whose favor. If I have to make a guess, I would say the Concealed for their consistency.
Yeah, you know, I'd like to favor the Concealed, but I'm an Inferno fanboy. I'm a Destiny simp, all right? I fully admit it. And I'm expecting to see my boy pop off right now, but this Concealed is no easy feat. As Renshiro playing off the bad ball, because anywhere to follow it up. No, Ultra's going to come away with a clearance, a knife 50-50 in the center, going to give Destiny some space to move forward. However, nothing comes of it. Because Renshiro, we saw his decent stats when it comes to saves. This man does not like to concede whatsoever. Jaffa there, bring it over into Samble. Gamble almost getting a shot on, but Destiny denying that.
Yeah, no, I mean, so far, very aggressive start from both teams, especially Inferno. They've come out, and I mean, both teams coming out aggressive right from the get-go, looking for those passing plays. They've just not pulled them off just yet, but we have already seen some close encounters so far, and this is only the first minute, so I hope to see more of this as we continue.
Yes, I do as well. As the players now pushing forward on the side of Inferno. How the gamble coming off the sidewall, a bit of a mistouch from one of the players from Inferno. I believe that was Detroit. Going to give room for the Concealed to push forward, but the Concealed, as always, they're so disciplined. They're not overcommitted. Jaffa is there putting a shot on goal, but it's just a bit wide. And the Concealed discipline is definitely playing dividends. We've seen what it does against Rias Legion, and right now, still 0-0, but Concealed looking very comfortable.
Yeah, they are. I mean, but the thing is, both teams are still feeling each other out at the end of the day. I mentioned how aggressive the start was, but that doesn't say too much, because after a while, both teams are going to start figuring out what one team handles better than the other. And right now, they're trying that by aggressive approaches. And so far, nothing has really cracked the defense of either team just yet. We have seen some close encounters, but both defenses have been holding up so far. I think it'll take another minute or so for the defenses to maybe finally let one through, and then maybe we'll see a flood of goals come ahead. But so far, both teams still feeling each other out.
Yeah, and this is the early stages. These guys haven't matched up in the playoffs just yet. However, the goal shot goes off the upright from Jaffa, and it sets up Renshiro for a very nice shot. Concealed take a 1-0 lead in this first game of this best-of-7 series in the grand final. A nice easy shot from Renshiro, but it came off the back of Jaffa, doing absolute bits, setting it up for his teammate to slot one in. 2.5 minutes left on the clock, still all to play for. We know how deadly Inferno can be. But Renshiro on the attack, nice and early off the kickoff, trying to keep the pressure on for the Concealed. A nice 50-50 from Gamble, going to keep the pressure well into the Inferno's heart. However, the Destiny doing Destiny bits, trying to keep it away. Renshiro goes up nice and early for an aerial, going to try and 50-50. And what a play from Renshiro! Dirty!
I mean, and that's what we were discussing, right? They were feeling each other out. Renshiro breaking through finally, and just, again, 2 in a row for Renshiro. What a man right now. He is leading the charge. And for Concealed, this is a great start. And for Inferno, similarly to getting knocked down that first round, being put into the lower bracket, they have to find themselves getting back into the game. And the question is whether they will keep that mentality of getting back into this series, because they have shown that they can do it today. But is this one game too many? We don't know just yet, but it's definitely something I'm interested to see.
Yeah, and, you know, against the Concealed, having a comeback is, you know, I'd say almost virtually impossible. These guys just don't make errors which give you 3 goals, and we're seeing it right now. Renshiro, though, he's been an MVP throughout many RS cast, and he is showing why he deserves that title so often. Ultra's now trying to put some pressure on, goes for the fake, but Renshiro being a defensive, solid player, not wanting a goal to go in. Jaffa there getting a clearance, so we almost saw a shot going from Ultras, however, just coming off the upright. But that is just showing Inferno just missing the target a little bit, maybe not as polished as the Concealed side is.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, we saw a shot from Ultras almost drop in there into the top corner, but it's just wide from the net, and that's what's going to make or break the game at the end of the day for these teams. Can you put those shots home when it matters most? For Inferno, in this case, that shot had to fall in, because now they have a minute left and 2 goals to make up for. And I don't know if they're going to do that against Concealed in such a short amount of time. Usually I'd say a comeback's possible with 1 minute on the clock, but with the consistency of these teams, you just don't know.
Yeah, it's so difficult, and usually see comebacks of this nature happen with so many mistakes. But Renshiro slotting another one in, and this man is just showing why he is so good. So another one, but it comes off the back of a beautiful demo from his teammate, leaving that goal wide open. 3-0 to the side of the Concealed. I mean, Matt, it's just looking like Concealed. Are they just too good right now?
Well, I mean, for one, They are consistent, of course, but it's also just how smart you are on the pitch. You talked about that demo on the goal line just now. That's the difference between these two teams, in my opinion. They are going for those extension plays. When they're rotating out, they're trying to disrupt the defense, even when they're not on the ball. We're not seeing that happen as much for Inferno. In fact, I haven't seen it happen at all. And their few chances have just not gone in. There have not been many chances anyways for them. And the Concealed have just outplayed them outright in this first game of the series. But it is a best of 7 for a reason. It's the first game. The Concealed have to keep this up, this consistency. And Inferno have shown that they can come back from any kind of setback so far. So I wouldn't call this game anything to go by for the rest of the series, but the Concealed looking very strong to start off with.
Yeah, I mean, the Concealed, it's that consistency we mentioned in the beginning. They just don't drop the ball, if for lack of a better word. But the man at the top of your screen, on the top of points, even Renshiro, he's 100% shot accuracy. It's just showing to me that when the side of Concealed gets given opportunities, they are capitalizing on them. And I mean, look at the amount of shots that Inferno had. They had 8 shots, yet Concealed only had 7. This capitalization is so pivotal. Yes, the saves may be more favored in the Concealed, doing a really good job on defense, but Inferno, they have to be putting away these goals. They cannot let every attack slip every single time they get an opportunity.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like we said, you have to score when it matters most at this level. So it's a very simple equation, but it's very hard at the end of the day because, like you said, that defense, even for Concealed, with the amount of saves they have, like they can put as many shots on target, but if they keep saving them, then yeah, I mean, it'll start feeling a bit hopeless at some point. But I'm confident that Inferno have more than enough quality. That's an insane save, and Destiny puts it in. There. As I was saying, I believe both teams have the quality to break each other's defenses, and we've seen it right here. As Destiny puts in the first one, Detroit there putting good pressure on the blue defense.
And this is exactly what you want to see from Inferno, bouncing back after that loss, showing that their mental has not gone yet. So big plays coming out from the side, but doesn't say that Concealed did make that goal difficult. It wasn't an easy one to put in, and it raises the question, does Inferno really need 3 shots on goal to get a capitalization, because they cannot keep that up?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's going to be a low-scoring game, right? Or sometimes it'll be a high-scoring game. I don't know. Like I said before as well, that first game doesn't have to be the indicator for the rest of the series. It doesn't say too much as the teams are still filling each other out. First game is always weird as Renshiro puts in the equalizer here, and the backboard defense looked a bit unstable there. Ultra Z with a big miss.
And not what you expect from a player such as Ultras. It's so difficult and so hard, but it is tied 1-1. Inferno versus the Concealed as the kickoff begins. Kickoff going in favor of the Concealed. Renshiro getting bumped by Destiny though, keeping away from it. Jaffa's going to be there for the shot, and he slots it straight in. You cannot make the mistake of the kickoff. Concealed will just punish you for it. Really unfortunate from Inferno, and Jaffa did such a good job on reacting, identifying the scenario, and slotting another one in. I'm curious, where the hell was Inferno's rotations?
I mean, it was the rotation you mentioned, but it's Ultra Z with a back-to-back defensive error right there. Missing the ball on the sidewalls, 2 consecutive whiffs from him that have cost them 2 goals. And, I mean, like I said before, it's those moments that are going to make the difference. They got 1 goal on Concealed to start their game off so well, but then they throw everything away on defense in 2 consecutive moments within 5 seconds. And, I mean, if that's what it takes to break your defense, and it takes, I don't know how many attempts to break the Concealed defense, then it's going to be a very hard day at the office for them.
Yeah, Inferno not as hot as they started off this game. Is Jaffa putting so much pressure on? Destiny has to get an awkward touch, bringing over into the corner. Jaffa is still there. Does whiff his touch, but still a lot of pressure coming out. Destiny, though, doing what Destiny does, and he's so dangerous at the ground control, setting up for his teammates. And oh my word, Matt, what did we just see Destiny do?
I mean, he went through the entire defense there, but I also have to ask what was happening on the blue defense there. I mean, there was no real momentum for him, but he got the ball past. He just made it he made it incredibly awkward. That's what Destiny just made use of. He identified that there was a very awkward situation for the defense, and he tried to take it as far as he could. And Detroit, anticipating that there would be an opportunity for him, got the shot, and Destiny putting in another one here, and they've recovered from their defensive errors early on, and they brought it back to lead the game.
Oh my word, this is back and forth. You don't expect this from, the elite playoffs. So many high-scoring games, and you just kind of feel like both these sides are just, playing manically and just focusing on their aggression. You have to capitalize and really stabilize your defense if you want to win these games.
Yeah,
a bit of a wishy-washy clearance
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I mean, like you said, it's just super aggressive right now. We saw it in the first game where we also spoke of very high aggression on both teams, but right now it's all aggression. It hasn't changed from the first game, and the defense is inadequate from both teams. It's making for very entertaining gameplay, but the question is, when are these two teams going to stabilize on defense?
It does beg that question indeed. Right now, back and forward, it is tied 3-3 with 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. Remember, Concealed did take that first game, so Inferno will be wanting to bring this back. Destiny is working off this bad ball, trying to get a clearance. Jaffa reads it really, really well, trying to go for the second touch in the air, but not able to get it as Detroit reads it really well. Ultras tried to read the touch from Gamble, but Gamble just being a bit too quick. Plays off the bad ball, going for the double touch. Shira is there, but off the bad ball once again. A prime opportunity for the Concealed to put a fourth one in, but not able to capitalize in it. Is it nerves? Is it pressure? But they usually score those. Unbelievable plays coming out of Concealed.
I mean, undoubtedly the occasion is doing something to their gameplay. I don't know if it's nerves or if it's complacency, who knows, but I mean, Gamble got so close to an insane goal there. I mean, they're going for things I'm really liking. I'm really liking that they have the bold intention of going for clips in this game. Out of all games of the season, this game they're still going for those insane shots. I really want to see it work out for them. As a shot drops on the crossbar there, that was very dangerous. Jaffa now looking to set up another attack. Renshiro looking for the redirect, it's just wide, and Jaffa looking to get it back, but Gamble with an awkward aerial there, and it drops into the midfield. But yeah, both teams still very aggressive at the moment.
Both teams feeling confident and comfortable. And as Matt said, when you are playing with flair, you are playing well right now. And so it's good to see these teams do it. I'm wanting to see a clip from one of these players. It'd be so good. It'd be a highlight moment for sure. Jaffa right now getting a touch in the midfield, trying to keep the pressure away from his half. Ultras, though, able to pass to Detroit. Can Detroit get the touch over to him? No, he can't, but Ultras a really good job bouncing it around. However, the rotations from the Concealed are coming out. So much pressure from Inferno. The Concealed are just holding on by a thread. Now the counter-attack, Renshiro versus Ultras. Ultras started to go early. Good job from him because he gets that touch away. Because Renshiro was looking for the pass for his teammates who are waiting in the center. Destiny now 50-50 in the center, looking for Detroit. Detroit was there, but Gamble, really good job of rotation, getting that save. Ultras goes up early on the back. However, not the best of touches him. It falls straight to Renshiro. Jaff has an opportunity to shoot. It goes off the backboard once again. What are these shots, Matt? I feel like this should be going in.
I feel like sometimes, yeah, indeed, they could be scoring those as Gamble goes for an interesting shot there. It's just all on the backboard or on the crossbar, and now finally Renshiro finding the shot. And this is crucial for the Concealed because this puts them 2-0 up in the series, and they're getting closer to forcing Inferno to have to reverse sweep. And that is a very challenging task indeed.
Yeah, it is so difficult. Beating Concealed reverse sweep, I don't know if it's going to happen, but with Inferno, if there is going to be a team to do it, it will be Inferno. Looking so incredibly strong, though, the Concealed, as they are pushing forward, trying to get a fifth goal. There is 30 seconds remaining. Inferno don't want this second game to go into the hands as Destiny's trying to go for a bit of an aerial play here, maybe misjudging his boost just a little bit. Ultras goes for the shot. It isn't powerful enough. A bit of a double clear coming out of Gamble and Jaffa, but it is not dangerous enough. Can they keep it up? Detroit does do a good job of doing so. How the Renshiro is there. Gamble goes for the shot. He's going to look to kill it. How the ball is still in the air. However, it does eventually fall. The second game falls in the hands of Concealed. They are now 2-0 up. They only need 2 more games to win this best of 7.
Yeah, I mean, what a performance from both teams in this series. Like I said, the defense leaves a lot to be desired on both teams, but what an entertaining show. I mean, they're going for shots left, right, and center. It's it's an attack on one end of the field, and 5 seconds later we have an attack on the other end of the field. It just keeps on going. I love the attempts that they're making, and it was much closer than the first game. I think Inferno, despite losing here, finally looked to have gotten some kind of grip, especially on the offense, on the Concealed. So it excites me for the rest of the series. I think we're setting up perhaps the chance for going towards a best of 7. I would love to see a reverse sweep attempt, for example, but we're not quite there yet. Inferno can pull a game back and avoid having to reverse sweep. I think it's possible, but I think for them it is crucial to stabilize their defense right now.
Yeah, it is so difficult. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's that whole we talked about it before, Matt. It's a team game, but if you aren't conceding any goals, you aren't going to lose the game. And Concealed right now kind of I feel like are playing with that mindset. Their defense is so strong and so consistent, and there's just no errors coming out of them. And Inferno are having to work so hard for every single goal they get. Yet Concealed, they just seem to be able to slot them in. There doesn't seem to be. Obviously, it's a difficult goal. Then they're not. Inferno aren't making it easy. Yet it's not like seemingly impossible like the Concealed are making it out to be for Inferno.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it does look like the Concealed have a more playful playstyle, if you will. They look like they're quite comfortable with what they're doing, whereas it looks like Inferno's really working for their goals at the moment. And you would almost be led to believe that if the Concealed were to start really applying the pressure, that they would really start hammering away at Inferno, but it hasn't quite gone to that point yet. So I think it's a matter of time before we figure out what these two teams are really feeling like at the end of the day, because the games have been relatively close so far, and I do not count Inferno out from taking a win right here either.
Yeah, I completely agree. As Gamma goes for another double touch, and it's so good to see him try these attempts. Machiro passes it into the center as Gamble does take out Destiny. Detroit with a good block onto Jaffa's toucher. It's still Ultras trying to get a nice passing play going with Destiny, but however the ball was just a bit too far in front of him to go for that redirect, leaving Jaffa the opportunity to clear it forward. Gamble with the redirect just a little bit high. That would have been filthy if he'd able to slot that in, but maybe just too much of a gamble for that, as he has now got the ball once again, trying to pop it up over to his teammate Ventura, maybe looking for that pinch play, but unable to get it, as Ultras come away with the ball off the backboard. A nice 50-50 between Ultras and Jaffa, leaving Destiny now to catch it in the midfield. Destiny has been that danger man for Inferno. We know what he can do, however, not enough boost to beat out Renshiro on the ball. The ball is going flying into the back of the net, and once again, a defensive error on rotation for Inferno, costing them a goal.
Gamble with a very interesting play there. He used his flip reset to wave dash towards the ball, and he got there just before Detroit could get a touch on that ball, and Destiny hadn't rotated all the way yet, and the ball just dropped in. It was a very smart use of the flip reset there to get to the ground just a little bit earlier to get the shot off. But to be honest, if I'm looking at the goal, it should not have gone in. I think the defense from Inferno should have been able to stop that from happening, because it was an awkward situation with little momentum. So yeah, like you said, the Concealed looking more comfortable at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, that is a Giga Brain use of the flip reset indeed. So impressive as Destiny is there, and it does going to reply with another goal off a bit of a poor touch, I think, from Jaffa. Actually, he does miss it, and Destiny's just always going to capitalize on an opportunity such as that. He's good at those ones. He knows how to slot them away, and he shows us exactly how he can do it. So tied 1-1 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Detroit and Jaffa go up for the ball. Jaffa does beat him out just with a touch, slightly enabling Renshiro to try and follow up with another touch. However, the clearance is coming out. Gamble is there waiting, pops it up high, maybe to look to get another touch himself. However, Destiny does a good job of rotating back, still Concealed with that midfield control. However, the pass goes forwards, and a huge bump. That would have been amazing. The goal, however, it was just wide. That shot, I thought it was going in. Ultras is up, trying to look for that double touch. However, the Renshiro on the backboard is such a good presence indeed. Detroit there, playing over to the center once again, but the ball is just touch away from Destiny's shot. Oh my word, the defense from Concealed is just so solid.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that bump, I saw Detroit lining it up, and I thought, do it. I thought to myself, do it, because you just know it was going to work, and the ball just hits the post and bounces out. That is so unlucky for Inferno, because I mentioned before, I was looking for those extension plays. I was looking for that that activity off the ball to try and open up the field for their teammates. And finally, we saw it happen on Inferno. And when it did it almost perfectly, it just dropped on the post. It didn't go in. How unlucky can you get?
I mean, it's so difficult, and these fine margins and what is setting these two teams apart right now. And if that goal had gone in, it could be a completely different story for the rest of the series, but only time will tell. A brilliant touch from Detroit will pop it around Renshiro, leaving Ultra some space to through, and it slots another one, and that comes off the back of Detroit. Brilliant touch around Renshiro right there, leaving Ultra the opportunity to play it off the bad board and then slot it straight in. Inferno up now have taken the lead in this game 3, and they really have to hold on to it. They cannot be throwing them away. We've seen them throw away these leads before against Concealed.
Yeah.
They cannot do it, and if they can hold on for another minute, it will be, they'll buy them just another extra lifeline, as they are down 2-1 in the series.
Yeah, I mean, that's in as well. 3-1.
Wow.
They're securing the lead here. That's very good work from Inferno. And I was going to mention as well, when we saw that double whiff earlier that happened on the end of Inferno in, I think it was Ultra Z, missing the ball 2 times in a row. We actually saw Jaffa do that twice in this game as well, throwing the lead away for Concealed, or at least the tie game away. And, I mean, we mentioned how we can't have Inferno throwing away their leads anytime they get it. It's actually happened for Concealed in this very game. So both teams have been prone to these errors on defense, and maybe this is where we mark a shift in the series when it comes to momentum.
It's very, very true. Wise words from the madman himself. As we see Ventura now going up, trying to go for the video. He does miss that touch. Jaffa not with the best of touch either. So Concealed maybe feeling the pressure from the hot Inferno side. Ventura did a good job of rotating back, trying to knock it forward. Detroit meets the board in the midfield. Now Inferno trying to pile the pressure on. The ball goes flying across the center. Ultras is up, and he puts a shot onto goal. And what a shot it is. After Ultra's early mistakes, he really has stepped up for his team.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing the extension plays again. Detroit going for that bump right there on the goal line. It just opens up the field, and it may have not been of much effect in that goal in particular, but we're seeing them open up the field for themselves more and more, and the Concealed are struggling more and more as well.
Yeah, and it's after the way that Concealed have been playing, it's so odd to see the mistakes that they're making right now. But Inferno really punishing every sort of minutiae and moment for the Concealed, and they are going to take this game number 3, which will bring the series 2-1. What a bounce back from Inferno, showing their capability and their prowess on Rocket League.
Yeah, and I mean, what can I say? They really recovered well. Defense looked stable. They only conceded 1. And this time around, it was the Concealed that looked to struggle on defense, having some more individual errors happening than before. It was just Inferno outclassed them this game. They were really just better on offense, better on defense. It's really that simple. And the Concealed, I don't think the Concealed have to be worried, though necessarily. They can. These are all players that have the capability to just reset and go into this next game clean slate. Renshiro having a bit of an off game there, has been the absolute man in these games before. So I would not be surprised to see him pop off again in the rest of the series, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
You never know in this game.
Yeah, indeed. And thank you everyone for tuning into this stream. Do share it about as best as you can. This is the grand finals of the elite tier, Concealed versus Inferno. Some of the best plays in the EU Open Circuit facing off for the RSC Elite Grand title. Big games indeed. Currently, the Concealed is up 2-1 in the best of 7 series. Inferno, though, bouncing back in the previous game, game 3, to bring this one step closer to try and take it to a game number 5 or game number 7 potentially. But right now, we're just waiting. I think there's a player who may have DC'd. I don't know, but we're just trying to get this lobby all sorted up. But I'd like to ask you, Matt, whilst we try and get the lobby sorted, what in your mind, let's say on the Concealed, do you need to do to kind of bounce back after Inferno's hot win in that game 3?
I mean, you just have to brush it off at the end of the day. I mean, you're 2-1 up. You're winning the series. You have the advantage. Maybe the momentum is a bit more with Inferno right now. But like I said, at this tier, you have the capability to just completely reset from that last game. And they can shut out the opponents right here. The thing is, You may struggle with it a little bit, but here it is straight away. The Concealed 1-0 up right away. This is what I mean. They've recovered instantly. Now they have the momentum back, and that last game win from Inferno has been made completely redundant when it comes to momentum right here.
Yeah, I mean, the Concealed really, really happy, able to bounce back. I know there's some complaints about the ping, as Destiny is sat at 140 ping right now. So maybe some issues. I don't know if a reset is viable, as the game is already started and there's again 1-0 up for the Concealed. So we'll just have to see how it happens. We'll keep you updated. But right now, the game is being played. Manchiro trying to push forward. Destiny has got the ball placed up in the air. Gamble, though, beats him to the ball. Ultras, though, who was popping off in the last game, able to put the pressure on back on to the Concealed side. Java trying to get the clearance, and right now it's that early game of just viding for that midfield controller. And Inferno, though, seem to have got a grasp of it first as they're putting pressure on to the Concealed side. But a brilliant place from Invenshiro is going to make it so difficult for the pressure to keep on going forward as a brilliant opportunity comes in for the Concealed side, but no goal comes full of it. Gamble, though, with a shot opportunity here,
There it
and
is.
slots it straight into the back of the net. It is now Concealed up 2-0 in this game, game number 4. What a start from Concealed to bounce back like that.
Well, I mean, Concealed bouncing back, but we have a current discussion in the lobby regarding a reset, and apparently we are going with the reset right here. I do not know what this means in regards to the score. It's 2-0 up. We might have to recreate the circumstances from the current game, although both teams may decide to restart the game completely.
I think what we will do here is we will have a lobby reset, and I think, out of fairness, the Concealed will take a 2-goal lead in the next startup.
Yeah.
But I'm going to just check with admins in the background on what we're doing. Maybe we can cut to some caster screens whilst we wait. So wait for this. But I think it's only fair that Concealed will have a 2-0 lead going into this game. But I believe we have got Archeon, the man, the myth, legend, here in the VC. Archeon, can you? I think you are live on stream. I think they'll be able to hear you. What's your verdict on what's going to happen up next?
Because goals were scored before the 3-minute 30 mark, the score still resumes. So you have to recreate the lobby and give a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
Okay, so you heard it here first, guys, from the big man himself. Concealed will have a 2-0 lead over Inferno after the lobby reset. So we're going to get that underway and have this lobby reset as soon as we possibly can. But Matt, I mean, the Concealed, do you think it was a ping issue that allowed them to score the goals, or do you think it was just Concealed bouncing back, feeling stronger after their previous defeat?
Well, I mean, ping issues can throw you off a lot in the game. I think anyone would agree with that statement. But at the same time, I mean, was it really that bad? At 100 ping, obviously, when you're a top tier player, it makes a difference to be at 100 ping or 20 ping. But 100 ping on a kickoff, I don't know if that makes such a big difference. The 2-0 lead, I think, is fair to give to Concealed here. They did earn it. They did continue playing. If they really felt it was impossible to play, I think they would have gone for the reset straight away. But what they've come to as an agreement here is fair from both teams. Both teams agreed that we start at 2-0 at the 4-minute mark, and I don't think there's much more to say about it, really. I can formulate opinions about whether or not it's fair to give them the 2-0 lead, but at the end of the day, both teams agree to this scoreline, and for the Concealed, I think, in my personal opinion, it is fair.
Yeah, I think so too. And so the lobby is back up and the players are rejoining. So the Concealed will be able to slot in 2 goals at the beginning here, just out of the rules. Hopefully the ping will be back up sorted. They are going to check the ping of Destiny before the game is started. Obviously, they do have the sub of Sato if it's so cool, if they need it. Okay. So, I mean, if Destiny's ping is so high, do you risk subbing off him, considering how strong he's been?
With all due respect to Sato, you are going for a major downgrade when you take out Destiny for Sato. I think Sato was on Xbox for a while this season as well. I faced him with Megamine, faced Megamine Colt. He was playing for that roster at the start of the season. We beat them then, so I mean, if I'm beating a roster with Sato on it, I wouldn't want to know about Elite in that case. But then again, I've heard Sato's a good player. I know he's a good player. And if he's on PC and not on Xbox, then it could be a viable sub. You don't know. But considering that he came from Major, you want to keep Destiny on that roster at all times.
Yeah, it is true, and it does look like Destiny's ping has calmed down. And you know, I recently cast Sato last week actually in the new, and he is looking like a transformed player. He is absolutely incredible. Back to his, that old Sato form of running it, flying at 200 miles an hour at everything. So he is back to his usual ways as the players are joining up the lobby right now. I think we're just waiting for a few more to join up and then we'll be able to get this game underway. Remember, guys, this is a game number 4. Concealed are up 2-1 against Inferno in the series and up 2-0 in this game due to the way that the lobby started. However, I think there was a false start again. So we will have to start this lobby up once again, unfortunately. Oh, no, we weren't. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so no, my apologies, my misconception. Because of obviously the 2-0 lead in the previous game, the boys on the Concealed side will get 2 free goals. And so, this is all, it's rather difficult. It's unfortunate, but do you think this is going to be any sort of mentality thing for Inferno?
What do you mean by that exactly?
Do you think they'll, because they've had the ping issues, because they're having to concede, 2 goals off a game which they may have gained momentum, do you think there's going to be any sort of mental edge between either of these teams?
Well, I mean, obviously, you feel like you've been at a disadvantage, right? They've agreed to the 2-0, but I'm sure that a part of Inferno, is feeling that it's a bit unfair, right? Because Destiny, in theory, their best player has struggled with ping issues, and they go 2-0 down in the first minute. It could be blamed on that at the end of the day, and now you are 2-0 down, supposedly because of that. Yeah, of course you feel like you're at a disadvantage, but in terms of mentality, I mean, since they did agree to resetting the game here and going ahead with this score, you could argue that they feel fine with a 2-0 comeback, having to go for a 2-0 comeback. Or if that fails, that they can just try maybe winning the next game and taking it on from there. You don't know. But at the end of the day, they were mature enough to give the Concealed their 2-0 lead back. So I don't think they've been hit too hard by this in terms of mentality. I think they're confident enough to continue even with that disadvantage in mind. Yeah,
well, I mean, I do completely agree with you. And I mean, you have so much experience in the Rocket League realm, in RSC. You guys, you know what the hell you're talking about. And I love this. Well, I love casting with you, Matt. Right now, though, Concealed are up 2-0 after the restart, after, all the lobby issues. But we'll be looking for Inferno to bounce back again. No, to Joyce on the counter-attack, putting the pressure onto the Concealed's backboard, trying to play it down to his teammate. Ventura reads it really well off the backboard, can gamble to anything with it. Now, it's Inferno trying to have to rotate back as fast as they can. Fortunately, Ultra's the last player back does such a good job on stopping the counter-attack coming out of the Concealed. Destiny, though, going for that flip reset. Is he going to be able to do it? Almost slotting it in! That demo would have been huge if it was a split second earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very good play from Destiny there. Almost getting that flip reset. It wasn't powerful enough to actually get a goal out of it directly, but the demo attempt there was very good. It was just a second too late, and because of that, the ball was saved. But I like the ideas coming from both teams at the moment, and it gives us a bit of foreshadowing for what we can expect for the rest of the series as Ranshiro puts in the 3rd goal here and maybe even putting this game to bed.
It could well be the case. Ranshiro, he's been popping off and a definite contender for MVP of the playoffs, considering the way he has been playing right now. 3-0 down Inferno. You cannot count this side out, but they have to polish up. They have to get a goal soon. Concealed, though, make it incredibly difficult for them to do anything. Ultra's on this counter-attack, trying to push forward. Only hasn't got any boost to work with, though, but she will make that easy save off the backboard and goes for a pinch and get the goal! Yes!
I looked away for 1 second as Ranshiro was in the midfield, and I look up and the ball's just in the net. I have no clue what's happening.
Clip it.
4-0 for Concealed here. I think for Inferno now, they need to look ahead at this next game. I mean, it's going to be a really tough task to get 4 goals here. Try and do what you can to score the goal here. Almost another shot comes in.
Destiny! I actually left my seat. I thought that was going in. Unbelievable plays. It's so good to see these guys playing with such confidence on both sides as Gamble goes for a musty flick, trying to get a goal on. And these guys, they must be enjoying themselves, you know. Look at the flair that they're playing with, Matt. It is incredible to see what top Rocket League is.
Yeah, I mean, they look like they're having fun at the moment. Maybe not so much for Inferno at the moment, but definitely over at the Concealed end. They are really feeling it right now, going for all kinds of shots, and it's working for them at the moment. And for Inferno, they just, I think right now, just try and score a couple of goals, get the feel back for it, get a bit of a grip going on the offense and defense of the Concealed, and go into the next game with a clean slate. That's going to be the task for them, as they almost get a goal here, very close, but the Concealed defense does not budge easy.
Unbelievable. Concealed, concealing the goal away from Inferno. No matter how much heat the Inferno side puts onto the goal, it is not burning through. Renshiro being the man who's just doing everything for his side right now. Brilliant bump comes out from Gamble onto Detroit to keep the pressure on for the Concealed. Nice touch though from Destiny, trying to keep the ball away from that backboard where Concealed are so dangerous. Detroit does go early, goes for that shot, but Renshiro once again getting that save. Is he able to do something with the ball? Gamble looking for Renshiro, tries to make the passing play happen. However, Jaffa is out of position, cannot get the follow-up touch, so goes for the 50-50 with Ultras. Detroit goes up nice and early, goes for that flip reset, trying to play it off the backboard. Destiny jumps nice and early. Gamble beats him to the ball. Really good plays from Gamble, reading that backboard touch. A brilliant job from him to mitigate any damage done from Inferno.
That's a good pass to Renshiro, and he almost gets a shot off as Destiny intercepts there. Two demos coming out from Jaffa, and a shot from Detroit going in. The one goal for Inferno. That's a little bit of momentum that they need at the moment. It won't change the outcome of this particular game, but I think this will help them going into the next game of this series.
Unbelievable plays left, right, and center. And you know, mentally wise, having a goal at the end of a game where there's been a potential blowout and you've been almost clipped, you know, it really sets a confidence boost for you. You know, it gives you the premise that, you know, we can score against this side. It isn't impossible. They are only human, even though Renshiro is possibly an AI. It gives that sort of confidence. There are 10 seconds remaining. This game will go over to Concealed, and it means they are 3-1 up. They are a game away from being your elite playoff champions.
And it seems almost inevitable now, because what this means for Inferno is that they have to reverse sweep from here on out. Or it's not a clean reverse sweep, but they have to win every single game from here on out. Otherwise, the Concealed are taking it all. Ultra Z stepping out at the moment, I'm seeing right now. Maybe a card change, who knows? Maybe Ollie coming in. Who knows? It could be the super sub. Inferno definitely needs something right now. This next game, they need these wins, and I don't know what's going to bring it to them, because the Concealed just look very comfortable at the moment. That's all I can really say. They look like they're enjoying themselves. Renshiro, didn't I say this last game anyways? Renshiro was bottom of the scoreboard at 200 points and they lost the game. And I said I wouldn't be surprised if he just pops up like he did before, just resetting out of nowhere. Well, look at that, 932 points and not even using overtime to achieve that. His teammates get nowhere near that score. That is individual quality right there that Renshiro is displaying for his team. Incredible
stuff. And what wasn't individual quality was the fact that we didn't get a shout out knowing that we were coming back on cams. Thank you very much, Senji. As I was looking into the distance as I was swapped back onto the cams. However, still, you get to see our beautiful faces, particularly Matt's, which I lost over. And so, you know, Matt is completely right. Renshiro, though, is on fire. This man needs to be put out. Maybe he's on the wrong team because he is bringing the heat against Inferno right now. Unbelievable plays from him. Is a question. Do you kind of maybe target Renshiro for the demos, for the bumps, get him out of the game, open up space, because he has been putting not only incredible shots on, but incredible saves left, right, and center.
I mean, I was going to say Senji must be really upset seeing Renshiro do so well after he left this franchise. So, I mean, yeah. Of course, Renshiro is the man you need to stop right now if you want to get a grip on the Concealed. Of course, that is what you have to do as Inferno. I don't know if they should really focus on him individually, as that might throw off your rotation, but definitely those extension plays are important. And if you can, you know, get a bit of an annoyance going over at Renshiro, you know, just kind of bumping him out of the way a couple of times here and there. Maybe you can get him out of his gameplay and, you know, take an advantage from that. Who knows? But Gamble might put in a shot here, almost a bump, and Felix gets. Oh, not Felix, excuse me, he's in Major. Ultra Z, yeah, these names are not very nice for casting.
I know they are plugging the major players. Always good to see them supporting Gamble, though, with opportunity to put a goal on the board. However, Detroit is there making a nice save with those rotations. Destiny, though, on a one-on-one with Ventura. Ventura comes out ahead, beating Destiny to the ball. Archer's now going to go for the catch over in his corner. However, Jaffa reads that really nicely, trying to keep the pressure on, and it seems like every single attack that Concealed go for, Inferno are just pinned back in their base. They haven't got a room to breathe.
Yeah.
Gamble, though, going for that redirect shot, almost going for the
Oh.
double tap, and again, Gamble doing bits in mechanical work. So impressive to see it from these players.
Yeah, I mean, right now we speak of Inferno needing to get anything going at this point because they can't lose it. There's almost a shot. It's in from Ultra Z, not Felix, even though I'm a hypocrite for complaining about this stuff for going as most alone in major playoffs. Ultra Z with a great double tap there to get their game going. 1-0 up to them, and it looked like they weren't going to do it, if I'm honest.
Ultras! That angle and that double tap, I think, needs to be hella appreciated and clipped, because that was so impressive. Ultras stepping up for his team, Inferno, trying to keep them alive. They want to go to a game number 5 and be on game number 6 and beyond, because they do not want to be knocked out now. They have been a rising champions for, for so long. Concealed, though, being such a huge threat. Detroit putting a shot onto the goal. Gamble is there making a nice save. Ultras, though, following up with another touch indeed. It's all about whether Inferno can keep hold of this lead. No defensive errors, because you know that Concealed will punish you for it. Ventura getting a touch away on the sideboard. Maybe not the best touch, giving Detroit a bit of space to work with. Pass over to Ultras, who's playing it off the backboard. Gamble does read that nicely and gets a second touch around Destiny. That's huge. That's going to give his teammates room to breathe on defense. Brilliant play on defense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of this game right here. I mean, Inferno looked pinned in their own half to start with, but they got the goal, and it seems that's brought them a little bit of momentum. But when I look at what Gamble's doing all over the pitch, and with the potential that Renshiro brings with him, I would not be surprised to see Concealed fight their way back into this game as Jaffa puts on a shot here. It gets saved by Ultra Z, maybe setting up another attack for Inferno here. Gets blocked out by Renshiro. Detroit now looking to set up a shot. I almost said Dispatcho. These names are killing me as a caster at the moment.
Yeah, and guys, just to remind you, the series score is 3-1 in favor of the Concealed right now. They only need one more win to be elite playoff champions. As we see, Gamble now pushing forward, maybe an opportunity to put the goal onto. However, Ultras does a good job of rotating back. A nice easy save from him. Inferno are up in this game number 5, and so they will be looking to try and take this. Detroit, though, trying to get a bit of a clearance away from his own goal line. Gamble going for a bit of an aerial play. You know that these boys on the sides of the Concealed are comfortable in the air. That almost does go in, but it's leaves Detroit with an opportunity to do what he does best with the one-on-one dribble, slotting a second goal for Inferno. And look, Detroit is just so composed. Look at this.
This is Destiny, by the way, Hops. But yes, as you said, I mean, this is where Destiny wants to be, right? He's a ones player. Put him in a one-on-one situation. He will score the goal, and he's done it for Inferno. Where Concealed were looking to get that goal to put themselves on match point. Inferno brought it back, 2-0 up, and who knows, this could be a major shift in the series.
This really could be Destiny doing bits for his side. I apologize, I got the name wrong, but it was Destiny scoring these incredible goals. And now it is Detroit, though, getting that touch into the center. Gamble is going to really play off the backboard, maybe following up with the second one, though. Jaffa is there once again, place it over into the corner. Gamble trying to get that redirect into the center, not able to. A little bit of a missed touch, allowing Ventura to put a shot on goal. Jaffa is there once again, looking for the pass to Ventura, but it's just behind him, allowing Ultras to come away, get a bit of a counter attack. Ultras doing a really good job dribbling it around.
Oh,
is
the
he
dribble!
In? No, he isn't. It's blocked by Gamble, allowing Jaffa now to get that clearance in the air. Inferno now are finding holes in the Concealed's defense. I didn't think it was possible, but they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, and is it the pressure of championship point for the Concealed at the moment?
I don't know, but I mean, right now, the defense for Concealed has been so consistent throughout the whole evening so far, and Inferno are just now finding holes. It looks like Inferno will be taking this game number 5 away from Concealed. Will take it to a game 6. They bought themselves another lifeline in this series. They don't want to go down without a fight, and they're doing such a good job keeping the ball up in the air. Though, you know, it's that whole OG original rule 1, which is you don't let the ball die until it really has to, until it's impossible. It's good to see from these sides, but you know, it begs the question. Has Concealed, are they burning out maybe? They played a hell of a lot of Rocket League this evening.
I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest. Because Inferno, you would argue, would be burnt out earlier than the Concealed, right? Because they've been playing that lower bracket. They've had to play many more games than the Concealed to make their way to the finals. And keep in mind that if Inferno do take this, it's a bracket reset. So this could go even further. So I don't know. The Concealed, if they are burning out, they're going to want to perform at least in these last few games, because if it goes the distance, then I don't know. I feel like Inferno would benefit from that greatly. I think the Concealed would be in a tough position. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think burnouts are quite a thing just yet. I think that will really show up when we get to a bracket reset, if we do.
If we get to a bracket reset, and guys, that is a very important thing. Inferno have to win this series and go ahead and win another series in order to claim victory. The Concealed, though, make it incredibly difficult. The Concealed are on match point. This is game 6. Inferno, they need to win 2 more games on top of another series. Is that too much to ask for, Matt?
No, I don't think so. I think it's definitely possible. I think anything can happen in this series. We've seen a really good comeback here from Inferno in this last game. They bought themselves wow, I can't speak. They bought themselves a lifeline here. They're back into the game. They're 1 game apart now, and the first goal has already gone in for them. Here it is. Inferno are starting their march, their comeback in the series, and will we see the bracket reset eventually? This is their first step, perhaps.
Yeah, it is the step in the right direction. Really good start from Detroit, putting a goal in. Gamble did get a touch, but wasn't able to get across fast enough. The kickoff, though, very mutual. A touch coming out from Ultras to keep the pressure onto the Concealed side. Gamble going for a nice touch off the sidewall. Destiny reads it really, really well. Playing it to his teammate, Detroit. A little bit of a passing play. Not a no goal, please. That would have been disastrous. A few misplays has led to a goal. What happened? What happened, Matt? Was that miscommunication?
No, Detroit just trying to recover off the wall, and the ball was just flung into him. And all of a sudden, they were in a defensive, cluster, I would say. It's just a complete mess there. And I mean, it's not their fault. That was just very unlucky, to say the least. And well, I mean, it's a bit of a lucky break for Concealed now. They can work on getting this win here. This is still championship point. You have to keep that in mind. Keep emphasizing that as Renshiro puts them on that championship point. If it stays like this, they are the elite champions. And now Inferno have to come back into this game.
That whole scenario, what we've just seen for the past, 30 seconds. It's so painful for the side of Inferno. They had such a hot start, and then an unfortunate bit of Rocket League. It led to an equalization.
Oh, the dunk!
Immediately, we see Renshiro come back and put another goal on the board, putting them at a deficit. That's so tough to bounce back from, and mentally it must be drained. However, these players do know what to do, as Destiny is on the ball right now, trying to dribble it forward. However, Renshiro does get that save. Detroit, though, popping it nice and high. However, Renshiro once again doing a really good job mitigating the damage as Jambo gets a nice demo onto what I believe is Ultras, allowing that attack to be mitigated. Gambo, though, getting a touch in his own half, beating out Detroit to the ball, trying to mitigate the damage. Destiny's jumped early, though. Don't know if he's going to commit to the touch in the air, and he doesn't. Almost sets Jaffa up for a nice free shot. However, doesn't come over it. Gamble does get a touch away before he's demoed by Detroit.
Oh, that's going straight down. Oh, Jaffa with the shot.
Oh, my word.
And now Inferno are facing a monstrous task. It's going to be a very hard road to get back into this series here. And Hops, I'll just ask you right now, can they do it? Is 3-1 a deficit they can come back from at this point in the series.
I have tears in my eyes right now. I have genuine tears. I mean, I love Destiny. I love Shires. I love the Inferno boys. I played again. We play against them for university and Ignite Esports. I want to see these guys win.
In as well.
But if Gamble's going to put another 4th goal in, I just think Concealed are going to have this in the bag. However, it is Inferno. When they find their momentum, when they find their foothold, they do not back down. So if there is a team to do it, it's going to be Inferno, and I feel like it's possible. I definitely feel like it's possible. I don't think it's out of reach for them. And Matt, what about yourself? Do you think this is too much for Inferno boys?
I mean, Concealed has looked so consistent throughout. They've only had one game where I really felt like they didn't have a grip on Inferno at all, but with 3 minutes on the clock, they can bring it back for sure. They have the quality in their team to do it. I just don't know if they completely overrun the Concealed defense, is it enough? Is it enough of a deficit to bring back? Can they get 3 goals in that time? I don't know. I don't think the Concealed defense will budge that easily.
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly difficult for Inferno, but if it's possible, they need to get a goal soon, though. They've got to get one soon. They've got to give themselves time to work with. As we see Destiny trying to go off the babble, pops it down to his teammates. The Ultras, Ultras not with the best of touches, leaving Jaffa the opportunity to dribble it forward. Detroit does read that really well. Coming off the sidewall, maybe looking to the pass into the center. Anyone there? Destiny is there, but he's 50-50'd in the middle by what I believe that was Gamble.
Oh, Renshiro.
On, and Renshiro is making it 5-1. Matt,
That's the dagger.
I think we're looking at our RSC 2021 playoff champions within Concealed right now. I don't know if Inferno can bring this back.
It's 4 goals that they're going to need at this point over at Inferno, and I don't know. The Concealed, they've just been an absolute monster of a team this series. They have looked comfortable. They've been consistent. They just look like they've been enjoying themselves playing throughout, and that might just drop in for good measure as well. Jaffa with the rebound, 6-1. Will they go for the Brazil in the final game of the season? Who knows?
This is so tough to watch, but regardless of what the outcome is, all of these players in this lobby needs and is adamant that they need your respect. They've earned it. Look at the quality of Rocket League we've been having right now, Matt. All of these players are just so mechanically gifted, so incredibly strong, and work so well together, and they are the 2 top teams in the RSC. Yes, Rias Legion put a really good showing, but in the end of the day, Inferno and Concealed, these are the guys at the top here, and they really are showing why they deserve to be here. But Concealed, at the end of the day, these guys, they're just so incredibly good. And it is a team game after all. And the team effort from the Concealed is just a little bit too strong.
That shot as
Gamble
well.
puts in
7-1.
a dirty shot. I mean, Matt, I want to ask the question, and I think it is a fair point. Do you think the difference maker between these 2 teams has just been Concealed's chemistry and their teamwork has just maybe shone a little bit brighter?
I mean, yeah, quite clearly. I mean, just there might be an 8th goal here. Just, very close. Didn't quite come to fruition. But yeah, like you said, they have looked more like a team. That chemistry you mentioned. We saw those infield passes happening left, right, and center. And it just doesn't seem the same when you look at the goals that are being scored over at Inferno. They just look they look very forced. It looks like they're always working super hard to get them, and at the Concealed, it just looks like they know where their opponents are. They know where their teammates are. They're looking for the passes all the time, and it just works for them. It looks comfortable. They look like they enjoy playing the game a lot with each other, and yes, the chemistry thus is so much stronger. And 8-1, it says it all at this point.
It really, really does indeed. I mean, what a performance coming out of the Concealed. They've been so impressive, but I really think the MVP in my eyes has been Renshiro. Oh my word, what has this man not done? Appearing with such a high scoreline in every single game, getting incredible goals and incredible saves, working with his team, just so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, props to both teams. Let's say that first off, because despite the fact that the Concealed have quite literally thrashed Inferno at this point of the series. Inferno deserve a lot of credit for that lower bracket run because it takes so much quality, it takes so much effort and consistency and a mindset to be able to run through that lower bracket and make it to the final and then still have to go for a bracket reset. It's incredibly hard to do, and props to them for doing that, but especially Concealed. They have looked comfortable, and they are thus more than deservedly your RC Season 6 Elite champions.
Unbelievable plays. Can we get a round of applause and a whole bunch of poggers in the chat to follow with some GGs, please, guys? Because that game was so incredible. Brilliant performances from Inferno. That is Destiny, Detroit, and Ultras showing up when they need to. In brilliant performances all around from them, but just in the end, the Concealed were just too much of a mountain to overcome. Brilliant results from the Concealed, and we talked about him before. Renshiro had 733 score at the end of that final game. That man, in my eyes, is the MVP of the Elite Championship. This is the RSC Season 6 Elite Champions, which is the Concealed from the Unseen franchise. The GM is Suckiest Sucker, and the players are Gamble, Renshiro, Jaffa, and Ollie. Massive props and massive GGs all around.
Yeah, and Ollie, former Wave Dash player, taking it there. Didn't play in the series, unfortunately. I would have liked to see him play, but with that roster, I mean, it's hard to argue when it comes to these players. They deserve to be in that main roster, and congrats to all of them for that performance. And I like seeing a little bit of that Wave Dash, player being in that finals.
A little bit of a Wave Dash representation. But what we need to have here is we are going to
interview.
Exactly. We're going to have an interview right now. We're going to have every single player from the Concealed. Okay. I think there's going to be Gamble, Renshiro, and Jaffa. I'm really curious to see how they are feeling and what they are saying on the side after that victory. We may be able to get Suckiest in here as well, the GM, and they have joined us in the VC, guys. How are you feeling after that victory? I'm going to chuck it over to Gamble first. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm just surprised because I started playing so bad in the finals. Like, it was stupid. I just played so bad. I popped off in like the first two series by getting a few clips, and then I just played awful in the finals. I was like, oh no.
and Jaffa, how are you feeling, my friend? It must feel good being the champion.
Yeah, it feels good. It's a bit unfortunate that Destiny had some ping issues, but we got to take the win.
Indeed. It is unfortunate indeed, and Renshiro, I'm going to come to you last. We've been talking about how your performance in this series and throughout the whole of the playoffs has been top echelon performance, and definitely in my mind the MVP. Renshiro, what is it like? What was it like just popping off and fragging out throughout the whole of that final series?
I don't know. I just had been since I could make a shout out a little bit sort of like last 3 days since I took some coaching from Magnus. I've been feeling really solid as I remember everything he said, and I just trust myself, and I'm not really even feeling like I'm popping off. I just slowed down my car movement a bit, so then I have more time to look at the touch I'm going to get, and then I just use my consistent mechanics to put the ball where I want, I guess.
I mean, you guys are so incredibly humble. And Suckiest, I know you're here as well. I know you're muted. Get yourself off mute. Suckiest, how proud are you of your boys?
I'm very proud. This has not been an easy season. There's been a lot of roster changes, and seeing it all come together and the plan work out is just it's really satisfying. I couldn't have asked for a better team than this.
That's so good to hear, Matt. I'm gonna hand over the baton over to you. Let me hear some of your questions, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go to Suckiest for this one because from GM to GM, right? We all always have a lot of issues with the management of teams and trying to keep teams together. Can you take us through how we got to this elite team? How was the path? What was the path like for you guys getting to this point, getting this team set up, and getting it consistent?
Yeah, there's been a lot of roster changes. Some of them due to availability, some of them due to people not wanting to be on the team. The last roster change we made was getting Ollie and Rashira instead of Rebels and Lightning. That was a change I made because I felt like this would give us a much better chance in the playoffs than having Rebels and Lightning, especially, and like seeing it work out. As I said, it's just super satisfying. I think this roster is, couldn't have been better in any way.
I mean, that's it's so humble.
And so like even though this is a very new roster, like they obviously have a lot of potential and like they play really well together. So like seeing how I made the right choice is obviously really real nice, and like see how well they play is I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, and I'll move right on to the roster as a whole. I'll start off with Renshiro. What's next for you? This is obviously a highlight for the season, but what, like, are you already looking forward to new things next season in RSC or in different leagues? What are your aspirations coming up? And I'll let you go first, and I'll have Jaffa and Gamble answer the exact same question.
I mean, I probably will take part as for the next season as well in RSC, because I feel like in the end it's a pretty good practice. Doesn't have prize pool, so there's pretty much no stress about it. You can just focus on improving and playing against other players. So it's technically sort of like scrimming with mics, and or yeah, with some different peoples than our main roster. Then obviously Gamble is part of my main roster, and so me and Gamble have a pretty good chemistry. As Gamble as the first man, and then I'm sort of the second man who follows up the passes, and yeah. But we'll be doing like ROCS and stuff, those bigger leagues as well for sure. That's the main aim, to get at least. I would like to get like main event in ROCS at least once this year, so we'll see.
I definitely think you guys have the potential to do so. You guys are incredible, and you have so much mechanical skill indeed. It is so good to see, and you are very much well deserved winners throughout the whole thing. I'm going to come and just do a final sweep round. Gamble, is there any final words that you guys want to say to the stream and to the chat? Any plugs you want to say before we let you guys go?
Only thing I can say is GG to all the teams. It feels like better practice than scrims because it's more reliable, because you know some of the people, you know who you're playing, so it's like better practice.
Yeah, and Jaffa, what about any last words from you?
Not really. It was just a lot of fun, honestly, and just glad to have won.
Awesome stuff. And Renshiro, how about yourself?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it was definitely a fun league, even though I was out of the league for like 5 weeks just because of just didn't click with the roster, and then the last bit was when it started to the forfeits happening. Then I was like, I wanted to take a break, and then had the chance to join actual playoff team, and then I just took the chance, and yeah,
It worked out.
it was pretty fun.
Awesome stuff. And Suckiest Sucker, I'm going to ask you the age-old Hops question. What was your highlight throughout these playoffs with the concealed side?
It's a tough question, really. Like I think the whole playoffs has just been great. Like especially the finals here with the close game and closing it out before it even got close. Like I'm just very proud of the dominant performance, and like the performance as a team, from the team as a whole, has been the highlight for me.
Fantastic stuff, guys. Well, thank you very much for taking your time to come talk to us, and a huge GGs and congratulations. You are the Elite Season 6 playoff champions, the Concealed guys. Thank you very much for coming and having a chat with us, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the amazing cast as well.
You're very, very welcome. It was a pleasure as always. And Matt, I believe that brings us to the end of the Elite Playoffs. And what a season we have had. Matt, I want to kind of ask you, is there any moments throughout this season in Elite that's kind of stuck out to you that we can kind of cast our minds out before we close out this stream?